tensioner side here to the jack shaft slash supercharger belt. Not 100% sure what this bracket here and everything's called. It's just a tensioner. It's got your idler there that pushes down onto the belt, causing tension, so I would imagine it's a tensioner. So this little puppy is the adjustment. I'm sure this isn't probably 100% stock with this bolt that's here, but these right here, some additional bolts. I wanted to go over just in case you didn't know the thread count. See if maybe you can, if you run into the situation where you don't know what it is. I'm getting a thread count of a 1.0 in the metrics, and measures in at probably an M6. There's 2 of those that go here. This is how this is for my setup. This is how it came. I'd imagine it's probably not the way it was stock. I couldn't tell you. This is also a 1.0 thread count. It looks like an M6. And then I have this measured in at full length, 67.5, just in case. You can tell that it's got an adjustment there, and we'll just have a set, almost like a set screw. Boom. So you're messing with this and you happen to lose this. I believe this is a 12 head, 12 millimeter. I'm doing millimeter because I just try to keep myself familiar with it. 24.50 is the length. Probably an M10, M8. So it's 8 millimeter shaft, and then almost 25 millimeters long, and the thread count is a 1.25. Is what I'm measuring on these. I don't know if that'll help you out. There's 2 of them. You can see you've got 4 different contact points, and you've got your idler. This one's seen some a little bit of wear, but not so bad that I can't reuse it. If you look on the back side of it, it's got like a bell spacer. So hopefully that'll help you out at all. I'm going to go ahead and install this. I'll try to get a video of this, and we'll gonna have to order a new belt, although I think I have one. So I've got this Dayco poly rib. Read a couple reviews and articles on some belts, and I think that a lot of people recommend the poly rib if you're going with the Dayco. Seems like the Gates doesn't hold up as well. I kind of like these, and I'll tell you why I don't like the Gates as much. And I'll show you. This is an old Gates, like a really old one, and it has been chewed to death. You can see the destruction. I really don't like these Gates. They don't seem to really hold up for any you can see they're starting to show well, the inner linings of the belt pretty much gone. I kept this because, you know, it gives me a good length of wear. Just an example of a belt, but I've got a brand new Dayco here, and I think I'll go ahead and put that on there. Here's some part numbers for you: 5050200 or 5PK0510. If this fits, looks like it will to me, and it's brand new. Probably seen more dust than it has action time. I like these Dayco belts. I like Gates, period, but their belts on the Supercharger don't hold up. The Fleet Runners, the green ones, read some stuff on that. Looks like that's the one I'm going to try to go for. Man, they look really cool and they're green. It doesn't really match my setup, but they're like everlasting. They hold up really well, like really well. We'll get some measurements in on the belt. We'll use the string method just so I can get a good idea of where I'm at. I'm thinking around 70 inches. I think that just 68 to 70 inches, somewhere around there. That's just a guess without my air conditioner. So you got to remember that I deleted my air conditioner, and that pulley I will not be utilizing. So can't really tell you what the original length was. Here's the original belt. Let's see if we can find any information on it. I don't see anything on it that says anything. But honestly, this belt was in really good shape. I mean, once you peel it back, you can see some distress. So it worked fine, never had any slippage, as they say. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this puppy installed, and we'll get the new belt on, and I'll get a video of it so that you have a good idea of, maybe you have bought a car with one, or you bought the kit, you don't have the instructions. I'm trying to find a PDF for the installation of, say, the brand new kit from Jackson Racing, and then you can kind of go from there with the modifications as needed. So let's pause this and we'll move on. Now we're back on the car side here, getting ready to install this tensioner bracket. So bear with me, it's been a while since I changed the belt. I like to take a look at it. I like to see the words on one side, but I don't really care. It's not a big deal. I don't know what the specific torque's on the Supercharger pulley here. I got it down to like 45-50 foot-pounds when I removed it, and I cleaned everything up real good. I've inspected the jack shaft. It rolls pretty good. So bear with me on the installation. And I'll try not to get my arms or my fat head in the way here. But this is the only way I've ever learned to do this since owning this car, is just take out the tensioner, get it there, get it onto your... I try to get everything lined up real good. Now you can tell that, like I said before, there's a bit of wear on one side. So you can tell where the belt's been riding on it for some time now. I'm definitely in the market for looking into purchasing new ones. I don't have any play in any of them, so that's really good. That means that they're not going to be wobbling around. The bearings, they spin pretty good. You know, I'm in the market looking around for a couple that I might end up buying. So this will go in like so. I've got this staged where I want it, so I'm gonna ride it on the furthest side. So these are 5 rib. I don't believe you can buy a 6 rib. These have 5 ribs in them, so you're pretty sure you can't buy a 6 rib short belt like that, at least not to my knowledge. So eventually this is going to be like that. It's going to slide down here, and you're going to apply the tension on there. So bear with me as I put this in. So that'll go there. You just got to line up where your holes are. Try to keep my fat head out of there. Not really sure, since there's 4 spots that you can put this on, if there is a better location out of the 4, utilizing the 2. Maybe maybe finding the ones that are easiest to get to might be the best solution. You got 2 on top and 2 on the bottom right there. I don't know if you can see that. Just shine some light on this, maybe that'll help. So you can see that there's 2 down below where the space is for the pulley, and then 2 up top. So no matter what you do, you're going to be utilizing 1 top, 1 bottom, as it were. So make sure your belt's in place. It's contacting the ribs that you want. So I think I'm going to try to go for this setup. 1 down below. And then 1 here, if it's possible. Problem is, you've got your brake booster and reservoir there. Something else you could do is set it to the side, take the belt off. You can slide it past your valve cover. Get it in there, get it started, then put it back. Being mindful of the location at all times. It's easier to get it onto the jack shaft. So there we go. We're pretty much installed. We'll tighten it down. Hand tight. It's pretty much hand tight right there, and that's quite a bit of tension. Not a ton. You can still move it and back it up just a little bit. Now we've got to put these in. Hopefully I remember where all this stuff goes. The 2 bolts are identical. You've got 1. It's going to be there. And then, well, it should be on the other side. You got that. So it looks like this would work perfect. I'm going to relocate the camera. Hold on, I have my fat head in the way. Okay, so hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. That way you can make the adjustments as needed. So if you put it this way, not going to reach. You can't do it that way, you got interference. So this should be your lower. Slide that in. Should be. An issue here. Should be, let's see. Well, everything's always in the way. Might have some junk in it. Alright, so I was mistaken. I just had it in the wrong location. I'll get my camera better for you to see. So I'll take it back apart so you can see how this goes in. And there's no interference on the belt side. So this is how it's going to go in. This is your upper. This is your lower. You start with the lower. You can't put it in, right? Put the upper in first. That way you have a little bit of wiggle room. You just back it out. Use your tensioner to bring it up. Boom, snaps into place. Next you can go ahead and put these in. Hold that. Easy as pie, right? Once you know how to put these together, it's actually quite easy. Just pulley bracket after bracket after pulley bracket after bracket. So it's free. You can see how much play I have. What I generally do is I give it my push down here, and I'll tighten it up here. Get all the slack out of the set screw, and then there's just tension on it. Then you can start working on putting that set screw in. Now that'll never move, or a set bolt I should say. Hopefully I'm not getting in your way and you can see what I'm doing. And that's just me pushing down on it. Once you get that, I don't tighten these up yet because those will help retain it. I'll put a little bit of pressure on my hand, get everything going. I can adjust it here until I feel like it's pretty tight. I'm not going to recommend going too tight, but tight enough not to have any squeals, squeaks, loose, wobble. This should work really good. It's pretty simple. I'd love to get some new additional hardware here. Boom, boom, boom. I'd like to get the additional idler here, but I have one, as you can tell on that one right there. It's got teeth on it, right? It's got the ribs, so it really helps. It aids, I should say, with keeping that belt in line. And we'll keep going for now, and hopefully won't have any issues with any alignment or anything like that. So trying to think of things I can do to help you guys out if you forgot how to install it or you just bought one or whatever. I ain't no professional, but I like this car and I like playing with it, so hopefully this information will help you out. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 12 mils tightened up. I'll do that after I've set the tension. There's a little bit of slack in it, but not a lot. We'll put a little bit more tension on it and we'll be good to go. Brand new belt. Appreciate it, guys.